Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Saturday Challenge, and today we have Ancient Aliens. Yeah, you know that series. This is like a History Channel series. I guess through certain acquisitions, Disney Plus is not just running National Geographic stuff. They've done other History Channel stuff, but this is one of the most prominent ones. It's only 3 seasons though on Disney Plus. This is They got 50 episodes, 20, 20, and 10, but these are seasons 18, 19, and 20. Yeah. So 1 through 17, you cannot watch on Disney Plus. And how they got to 18, 20 seasons? Wow, that's a lot. And I guess there's been a lot of, sightings and stories to tell, and more than I ever thought there would be. But it's got to be keeping the same people in business. There's going to be like, hey, could you come down to the studio, or can we come to your place and film you talking about UFOs again for the 80th time? Sure. Or they'll just keep recycling bits throughout all this series, throughout all the episodes. I don't know, because I just can't. I can't figure out how you'd be able to talk. Okay, there's podcasts. There's more than just this. And I guess they also branch off into other things, which I'm looking at through the slideshow on IMDb right here. They can talk about aliens. What about the crop circles, and what do aliens look like, and what about the Bible? There's stuff in the Bible, and there's other ancient religions and faiths and cultures that depict things that look like aliens. And hey, what about every single episode of the X-Files? There's little something usually that pokes at some of the more unknown things about our history, about our science, about our world, our culture, the universe, and everything else. So I guess there's a lot to poke around in, but you only get 3 seasons here. Actually, 2.5, technically. But yeah, it's. Do you believe in aliens? I don't usually ask people to put something in the comments, but please, if you get this far, please tell me if you believe in aliens and why. Aliens, UFOs. I'm going to tell you this right now. UFOs are 100% real. 1,000% real. There's not a doubt in my mind that UFOs are real. Whether I believe in aliens or not is a whole other thing, because UFOs, and they call them UAPs now, unidentified aerial phenomena, or anomalous phenomena. But UFOs, unidentified, those flying objects. They're objects that appear to be flying, and they cannot identify them. There you go. UFOs are real. The big question is, what are they? What if they were identifiable? There would be no such thing as UFOs, or at least on a case-by-case basis. There would be IFOs, identified flying objects, like planes and drones and helicopters, that kind of stuff. So, what about this series? Well, I only watched 1 episode, and I can't think if I've ever watched any episodes any other place, like other streaming service, or I don't have a DVD or anything else. I love the X-Files. I watched every single episode of those whenever they came out. I think we're getting a new season any minute now. It could be this week. I can't remember. So the only episode I watched is called The Disclosure Event. And so, just so you know, this run here is from 2022 to 2024, which means that our earliest episode here, it has content that is all the way up to 2021. What happened in this episode is kind of important. I think it takes a more grounded, real-world point of view, rather than speculating what aliens look like and where they come from and how they could get here and what are spaceships, how are they powered. Like that's not just that. It's not just guessing. It's not just assuming. Not just going, here's how, if we would do it with our science and our technology and our understanding of physics, this is how we would do it. It's more about, hey, the government's been lying to us about UFOs, about what their understanding, what their knowledge of UFOs, what they've been lying about the fact they have been looking into these things. Because every once in a while, or more often than we realize, there are reports from people flying in the Air Force and the Navy and everything else. They always come back and or even just like commercial airline pilots are like, hey, something came up on a radar, or something was right outside the window. We saw it. It was just hovering there and then just zipped away. What? It's on our records. Oh, are we going to just ignore it, or are we going to report it? What are we going to do? People are going to think we're crazy. Because, again, the struggle when it comes to understanding ancient aliens and UFOs and all the phenomena that we don't understand, that we associate with extraterrestrial life, the fact is that the real struggle is not just trying to identify them, but being taken seriously when you believe that you have identified them. Because you can say, look, got a piece of a thing right here, it's alien metal, and you're like, people are just like, yeah, okay, whatever, sure, whatever, alien metal, it's probably from just like a broken down plane or something. Unless you can prove it, where it came from, nobody's taking you seriously. And you can tell all the stories, they hand down those things from decades and decades, the Roswell incident. You can point to all that stuff. There's people who have gone on record, who have written books, but sometimes you can always discount them because you're just like, honestly, I could write a book right now and say that I saw aliens. It's a struggle. It doesn't mean that I didn't, but it doesn't mean that I did either. That's what the struggle with the people who believe so passionately, just like Giorgio Tsoukalos. I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry, but he's the guy. Aliens. He's that guy that you see in all the memes. He's in this. He's a part of this show. Yeah, he's pretty much part of this show. He's like the poster boy for UFOs and aliens. And yeah, he makes a few comments here, and he actually makes some really good points throughout this, especially toward the end. It's what the majority of this episode that I watched is about is, okay, the government's been lying about the fact that they've even looked into this. There's plenty of reports. And when a certain former and now current president signed some papers in 2020 to demand that these reports be made public, they had like 6 months to get it done. They were made public in 2021, and it said that, hey, you know what? There's a lot of stuff we actually are examining. We have researched these things. We are looking into alien stuff, even though we say in the past we've said we are not. That UFOs are not a thing. We don't care about them. It doesn't matter. It's not serious. It's not science. We don't, it's not real. And the government has actually been looking into this the whole time. Whether they've found anything or not is certainly not in those reports. But one of the things that they did find is the fact that, one of the things they admitted to is that out of the 144, I think, 144 incidents or encounters, they couldn't explain 143 of them. That's kind of a big deal to say, yeah, we can discount this one, but the others, we still don't know what they are. That could be a lie too. I mean, they're only required to put out the report. They don't have to tell the truth. And that's what a lot of people that you're seeing in this episode are just like, just tell us the truth. But the point also is that if we get the truth, like somebody just goes, look, roll it out of the hangar out in Area 51. They're just like, here, take some pictures. Hey, press, come on down here and take some pictures of this spaceship. Okay, we got it. Where are the aliens? Who's saying that we put that out there for everybody to see? It's on display. It goes on parades around main streets all over America. Like, we know what there's aliens exist, but we don't know who the aliens are. Does the government know who the aliens are? Are they nice? Are they explorers, like in Star Trek? Are they warriors, imperialists, like the Empire in Star Wars? One of the comments that Salakis, I know I said it wrong, but Giorgio. I'll call him Giorgio because we're, like this. One of the things that Giorgio makes a point of that I'm going to paraphrase is the fact that, let's say we do find proof. And, okay, sorry, I'm going to start over there a little bit and say that there's a such thing as called the Fermi paradox. He doesn't mention that, but I'm going to say it. Fermi paradox. You can look that up. I can't really explain it that well, but the fact is that it asks the question as to, if aliens haven't, visited us yet, why not? And if they have, why haven't they been in contact? If they came from billions or trillions of miles away, by however means they can, and they seem to be showing up on our radar or showing up on outside of our airplanes, and they're trying to be secretive, why do they keep screwing up that secretive part? If they had the technology to come across vast, empty space, or other dimensions, or whatever it is, why can't they just be invisible to airplanes every so often? Or are they just teasing us? They just tease us. What is the psychology behind it? And one of the things that Salakis, and I said it wrong, is it makes a point of, is that kind of like in Star Trek, First Contact, when Zefram Cochrane, and he didn't, by the way, Soklas did not make the Star Trek reference. This is me too. Star Trek in First Contact, Zefram Cochrane created the first warp-capable ship in this not too far in the future from us right now. And when he did that, it showed the Vulcans, who were watching from a distance, that the world, the Earth, the people of Earth were capable of technology that put them into a greater space of they're ready to join the interplanetary world, in a sense. It says we had technology that put us on the same level as all the other advanced spacefaring races. And the Vulcans, some of them begrudgingly, welcomed the often surly and drunk Zefram Cochrane to join that intergalactic thing. So that's a good thing, in a sense, I would say. Imagine if we've been accidentally seeing some alien spaceships. What if that's the case? And now suddenly we reach the point where our technology has advanced so far, probably through AI, good or bad as that may be. Let's say AI brings us to a point where we are more energy efficient than, where we're not reliant on fossil fuels or just any other things, where suddenly we just break the level of energy production that would allow us to go zip to Mars or beyond and live that Star Trek life. What if we did get to that point? Is that the point where the aliens go, all right, you've been catching glimpses of us all this time, we're here? Do they go, welcome to the Federation? Or do they go, we're going to now destroy you? If your AI didn't already. But you're a threat. Because we already seen what you do with your nations and your people, and you spend money on the worst things while your people starve. You're a threat to everything you come across. Boom. What? Do we keep looking? Should we keep looking? Yes. Yes, the whole point of exploration is to go where no man has gone before. Go where no one has gone before. So yeah, the search for aliens and UFOs is important, but never more important than taking care of our people here on Earth. So that, you can see in the Star Trek timeline that the people of Earth had to go through a pretty horrendous time before they could get to the point where they were becoming a warp-capable spacefaring race. And that's kind of what Giorgio was the point he was making toward the end of the episode. So even if you're not really interested in aliens and everything else, I would say look at this episode that I watched, the very first one of the first season that's listed here. And you can see that beyond all the talking heads of going, oh my gosh, it's important that we had this report. It's important. One, a lot of them are worried about being taken seriously for the first time in their lives. Some of them have spent decades researching these things. All the way down to Congressman Harry Reid in Nevada, who has an airport named after him now. All these things, all these people work together for so long to bring these things to light. And usually always the government goes, nah, that was fake. Crushing their dreams, crushing their knowledge, and just lying to them. I'm not saying that they're lying about actually having met aliens. Honestly, I would be the first one to go, okay, assuming that the aliens are cool, they're good, and they actually might help us get over our BS, I'm all for it. I would love to be wrong about aliens. I don't think aliens are here. If there are, it's like they sent drones or something. They sent little scout ships to see what's going on with us. And they're just like, okay, well, the real aliens are going to show up a couple centuries from now. But who knows? I can't say. I can't say. These people know a whole lot more than I do about stuff that's real and stuff that they want to be real. Because either way, it sells books. It gets podcast listeners. It fills convention centers. True or false, either way, it does that. And that's, hey, have fun. As long as you're not hurting anybody, go for it. But I think I would watch more of this. And I think if I ever get a chance, I might pick and choose some episodes that are interesting to me, because I do like, obviously, sci-fi, and I love the idea of exploring strange new worlds. I love the fact that the idea that we could do something like that. And that's what this is all about, for the most part. It's trying to pick apart what little we know, and I have a feeling we know so very little as compared to what is to be known. But yeah, I think aliens could be out there. It's not impossible. Whether they've talked to us, whether they sat down with our leaders in secret, whether they've crashed here and we have corpses sitting in a bunker underneath Area 51, like the symbiotes and Venom 3, The Last Dance. No, I can't say that. It would be neat, as long as it didn't put us in absolute danger of being obliterated once they're revealed. We'll see. So yeah, if you're into alien stuff, again, how much of all of this is real, I do not know. I cannot say. You might still get a kick out of it. And that's obviously 20 seasons in. A lot of people got a kick out of this series. So check it out when you get a chance. I might be picking and choosing episodes here and there that catch my eye. We'll see. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 185. Go to the other end of the list. By the way, if you don't know what I'm doing here, this is actually a random number that goes to a spreadsheet that lists everything that's currently on Disney Plus that I have yet not watched. So 185 is a number that connects to, we have a short. And I don't know what I'm going to get. That number is random. So when I tap that screen, it gives me a number. I look at the spreadsheet, I find the thing, and here's what we're watching tomorrow. Special Agent Oso, 3 Healthy Steps. Yeah, it's a short, which is great because we haven't had one in a while, since Carl's Date, I think. So yeah, we're going to watch a short. Hopefully I can knock that out pretty easily tomorrow. Special Agent Oso, 3 Healthy Steps is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.